pre-recorded edition of Outside the Box. Yes, Molly's here with me, where we take you outside the box. And this is something that... Yeah, I love you too, Molly. Come on, sit over here with Daddy. This is some... Come on, I'm going to scoot you over. Sit down. Right here. No, come here, Molly. Okay. This is something that I've been toying to talk about, but I'd rather do it not live. Where I'm going to title this basically Darkness, because sometimes that's where I feel I'm still at. So this is going to be in segments. First segment, I'm going to talk about when I was in basically school, kinda. So starting out, going back, way back, to elementary school. Now, elementary school, when you were a kid, we played in the playground with other kids, and it was pretty, there was really, not that I've seen, bullies. Okay, and, you had your little groups in schoolyard, but everybody played together, and really there was no, from what I realized, there was no fights. We really had any fights or anything. So, we graduate, elementary school in Wilkes-Barre was K through 6. So, when you passed 6th grade, then you went into junior high school, and now there was no more recess, or you were in junior high school, and that's where my basically sadness began. So, my buddies that I'm still friends with, Rob and Jim, they were a year ahead of me. So this is my first year in 7th grade, going to Wilkes-Barre Township, new school, new people, and it was a little scary to begin with. Just itself, you're walking into a new place. It was scary. Now, I'm not going to go into full detail because I don't want to bore anybody. But, as time went on through 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, that was Township, Wilkes-Barre Township, you had your jocks, you had the preps, you had the cheerleaders, the football players, the sport. Then you had what was tagged back then was the roaches, like the roaches. That's in bit. Just that was you were like the roach. And then there was the nerds. I guess I fell into that nerd column. I got picked on. I wasn't a fighter growing up, and I'm really still not a fighter today. But now at this point, I'm like, I don't care. I was bullied. And it wasn't fun. It was not fun at all. You'd be coming home on the school bus and someone would throw something at you or hit you in the back of the head. Why? Because you look different. You acted different. A bully was just... I think a bully was just somebody who they felt good about themselves, making other people feel shitty. Plain English. And it really, really sucked. And that was part of the reason why I hated school. Because I knew every day, or at least most, there may have been a day where I didn't, a class was different and I didn't, but for the most part, I no, I was picked on. So I would just go to school, go to my classes, and just kept to myself. Then even when you didn't do anything, you'd still people just find ways to pick on you and bully you. But again, I like to sit there and think to myself, why? Why would someone get, you know, picking on somebody else? What does that make them? Doesn't make them cool. Makes them an ass. And I would in Wilkes-Barre Township we had seven. We had homeroom and we had seven. Seven class like seven. I guess class you want to call them. 7 periods. Okay, 7 periods. That's right. And I would stay eighth period. I'd go up to the library. I was learning from. I was like trying to be like a library aide, just so I wouldn't have to come home on the bus and deal with that bully. I would stay eighth period, and I couldn't even fathom being, someone bullying today. Because at least I loved Fridays because I knew when I came home Friday night, full Friday after school, there was no internet. There was no social media. So when I came home, I knew for Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, I was in my safe space. Okay. There was no bullies. I was home in my own house. My mom, my dad, my sisters. I was home. And it even still hurts to this day when I think back. That's I think why now I want to talk a little about just to kind of get it out. Um, Being picked on it. I like to BS with everybody, but back then I didn't like to even talk to really anybody. My friends were a year older, and then they graduated a year. They were out to college a year before me. Um, I didn't, I didn't have no friends really in my grade, and the girls laughed at you, so you tried. Now, there was some girls that were nice. Don't get me wrong. And the ones that did not pick on or pull anybody, I'm not gonna throw names out because it's been so long ago. But you know, kudos to them for not following the whole whatever you want to call it, click, however you want to call it. So it just made Wilkes-Barre Township 7th, 8th, and ninth grade hell, royal hell. And this played more. This was more affected during school. So move forward ahead. Go to Coughlin. which was nice. I went to Votech, so that broke it up. So there wasn't really that much. The bullying calmed down, which for me was a nice fit. Now there was still once you'd have the idiots, but it wasn't. Molly, what are you doing? But it wasn't. There you go. Okay, but that's okay. You're a good girl. So 10th grade, I went. I went to tech in the morning. I went to mechanics. My dad wanted me to be a mechanic, and then in the after I went to homeschool, and then 11th grade and 12th grade, I was homeschool in the morning, Tech in the afternoon. So by 10th, 11th, and 12th, the bullies that were I didn't see them. They were in either went to another school or quit, whatever, who knows. But I'm gonna go back to Wilkes-Barre Township for a minute. My 7th grade year, and that was the first year you got your yearbooks. Everybody, I don't know if everybody, but I was excited to get a yearbook. Well, I opened my yearbook and it's still it wasn't nice at all. And I know my mom read them, but she didn't really say anything. She's like, "Is everything okay at school?" And I didn't want to talk about it. One was so kid got picked on all summer, or two kid got picked on school. Have a nice summer. Another person wrote, "Ready to get beat up again, you geek. See you next year." It it's just very very heartbreaking, very depressing. Um, 8th grade yearbook wasn't too bad. Ninth was a little bit better, but still, if you didn't fit in, man, you were targeted. I never got beat up in school. That's one thing I could say. I never happened. Even going through 10th, 11th, and 12th grade at Coughlin. The nice thing, at least my last year at Coughlin, um, I was driving, so I would drive myself to Coughlin. I stop at Top Dog or something, go to Tech, and but that was I had a really shitty school year, school time, and now maybe if that could have been part why I kind of did crappy in school because I just didn't care because I didn't want to be there because partly, come on girl, because partly there's Molly, she's looking out the window because basically barely gotcha. My mind still does me, don't you? Yes, you do. So, and barely when you didn't want to be there because you knew you were anticipating getting picked on all day, picked on all the time. Hiya, girl. It's had a kissy. Good girl. It was. It just made it that less wanting to go to school. I started, skipping school and staying home. Not skipping like my mom did, but I'd be like, "Mom, I'm sick. I'm sick today. I don't feel good." 'Cause I just didn't want to endure the bully anymore. And then if kind of you're afraid if you went to a teacher and then stuff, it would be worse. Um, that's that was basically my school bullies, and then people, I still don't get it to this day. What's the point of making fun of somebody? It doesn't make you any better. Makes you worse, basically. But so that was kind of my school year. 10th grade comes around, and yeah, let's move into the kitchen. While we're going to the kitchen, I'll finish. It was our graduation day, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me, and thank God, because I probably would have. I don't know if it happened to me seriously, but there was a boy who they picked on, another boy they picked on too, and this wasn't because he was like, what they did was just basically a final jab. When he walked across the stage, all the girls stood up and started cheering. So all the guys started, because we didn't really know what was going on. We just decided, so we all started cheering. And it wasn't because he was a popular kid. They did it for one last final ruse. So graduation was over, and we all left. Now, before I went down to graduate, my dad drove me down. I parked my car close to get a spot. So when I was leaving, I drove by, saw him. Where you saw other kids with their family jump. It's last day graduation, or everybody's happy celebrating. I was driving by and I saw him sitting on a bench. It was over near King's at the time, King's Gymnasium back in the day, and there was a bench, and I saw him sitting there next to, I don't know if it was mom, his grandma, but it was just him and her, and he kind of she was kind of putting her arm around him, and that I felt like that was, I just could feel his pain almost. I was never back in growing up through high school, blue school. I didn't have girlfriends. Girl wanted to go out with me. I was a nerd. I didn't. Tried to talk to him, and then the jocks be like, "You talk to her, I'm gonna kick your butt. I'm gonna kick your ass." So, so it was just really. So moving now out of graduation, out of school. Where do you go? Time to hit the real life. Now we're in the real world. Got to get a job. Pay for your car insurance. It. Knock on wood. My mom, dad never made me pay rent or anything. I had some friends, Jim, Rob, Sean, guy named Danny for a while. But I didn't have a lot, so we'd, 18, 19, you go cruising downtown. You always try to go think you're going to pick up girls, but, it never happened. So then when I hit 21, I took my drinking habit to a higher level. Started drinking more just to kind of drink the pain away. Did it really help? Looking back, no, but at the time, I did it because I was sad. For a while, drinking, it drank some, it
did drink the pain away, it drank the feeling away, but then it always came back. So you drink more. Drink more. Started, when we would go out, we go out, we go bowling, we go out, or where I'd go out to the bar just to drink, just to, nothing else to do. Didn't have really no life, and I knew now I look back, I know it was my stupidity fault, because, I put myself in that spot. No girl wants to go out with someone who was like me at the time. But I couldn't see that. I was too consumed with hate, hurt, yeah. uh, I don't know. I really don't have an excuse. I just, you know, I drank to drink, drink to drink, however you want to call it. Um, go out every Friday night, drank Saturday night, Sundays nothing was open, so I stayed home and sobered up. Went back to work Monday. But still there was always that part of me missing somewhere. Now, if my dad was alive, would things be different? Probably. Um, but again, who knows? So I was 26 and got to a point where I'm like, or no, I was 24. Um, got to a point where I just got done tired of drinking, feeling like crap. Um, and to this, I have an awesome family, really supportive. But I kept them. I didn't tell them, because I didn't want anybody to know that the pain I was going through. I didn't want anybody to know I became an alcoholic. My mom was, hurt after the loss of my dad. So I just yeah, it's what happened. Um, so I stopped. That's when I stopped drinking, and through another friend of mine I met at the time who became my wife. And I'm not gonna drag my wife into this pretty much, but I'm gonna say I didn't know how to be a husband. I didn't know what to do. I failed. Again, I failed as a husband. After 10 years we divorced. Well, after 10 years we split, and then we eventually divorced. Then after that I moved to where I'm at now in West Pittston. Before I knew the weddings and before any of this. I fell to the lowest, pretty much my low point. Going to the bars every weekend. Uh, Picking up girls that you really would not really want to pick up. Did I do it just because I felt being a part of something? Maybe, probably. And this one girl who I thought it was gonna, I thought it was my, the next girlfriend, ended up stealing my car and flipping it to a drug dealer. Which now, I was trying to, I lost my job because I couldn't drive to work, so I lost my job. Couldn't do weddings, I didn't have a car. During that time point was when I didn't have a car for a good year. And towards the end of that in 17, my mom died. It was like February, March, my mom died. And I couldn't even go because it was 3 in the morning. It was at the nursing home. Now my older sister was there. I couldn't go say goodbye to my mom because I didn't have a car. I wasn't gonna say hey, to my sister, come get me, because that would have taken her away from it. I don't want to do that. So because of the actions of one person being the thief, I couldn't go see my mom when she died. So that haunts me to this day too. Um, when I had to go to the store and there was nobody to drive me, I had to walk down to Gary's and walk back, by only with what I could carry. It was a year of hell. Um, but luckily in 17, that's when I started working at. Oh, now my employment's out and I'm trying to find work. I'm just going for anywhere, and I ended up doing an odd job, which just So luckily in November of 2017, I got a call and I ended up at Cognizant. I've been there ever since, and it's great. I mean, who loves really work? I'd rather be a millionaire. You know what I mean? But I lost Goldie, but I got Molly. It's just I had so many years of just carrying this weight. I wish I was the popular kid growing up. Wasn't. I wish I had. It is, and it is what it is, and you can't. I wish this, I wish that, but during those times, have I thought? Did I think of just ending it? Yeah, I did. Got tired of the loneliness. Got tired of the everything. But now working, I've come a long way. With my weddings, the food shows, the cooking, the takeouts, the cooking shows. But there's still sometimes where you just kind of feel beat down, and that comes back. So I want to thank you for allowing me to share this with all of you guys tonight. Be blessed, stay safe, everyone. Talk to you next time.